I'm giving away this championship belt once I hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. Hey, you know I got to keep you covered when something big happens in pro wrestling, and today we just found out another AEW superstar is gone from the company. And guys, it is Brock Anderson. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that I've actually commended and respected the fact that AEW doesn't do talent releases. They just let contracts expire. They just let them fizzle out, and then they make the decision to not keep them. And obviously there's a reason for that. The big reason why I praise them for that is because my major criticism with this company in particular, is that they have a lot of people signed to their company and they don't get used. So at the very least, they're not releasing people, but then they just let them go. And obviously you have to do this as a business because you don't want to be paying for a whole bunch of contracts when they're not being utilized. And you got to make way for people like Adam Copeland. Brock Anderson was removed from the AEW roster page. So if you go on AEW's website right now, he is no longer there. This is a good indication that he is no longer with the company. Now keep in mind, there was some talks in the past that maybe Brock Anderson was extended for a short period of time, but it kind of sounds like his deal was up for a while now. So, look, we'll see what happens with Brock Anderson. You know, WWE brought in Brian Pillman Jr. He's somebody that WWE is definitely going to be working on. I genuinely think that Brock Anderson has a very good chance of going to NXT. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Brock Anderson's going to be a star. I'm not going to sit here and say that Brock Anderson is going to be a top star in the business. But what I am going to say is for WWE, it is definitely worth that risk of bringing him in, especially because NXT contracts aren't that expensive. It could make a lot of sense. Now, the real question here is, what does this mean for Arn Anderson? Because I think Arn Anderson being in AEW was kind of a thing that was partially as a reason as to why Brock Anderson was in there. So I want to see what happens. I want to see how everything transpires throughout time. I definitely think WWE should bring him into NXT, see what they can do. WWE could benefit from having Arn Anderson's son in the company, and maybe it's something that WWE does as a way to bring Arn Anderson back. And maybe there's some potential there with development, right? It's hard to say. We don't know what his ceiling is. But, of course, with NXT, there's a high risk, there is a high reward for a very low risk opportunity here. And I think those are the type of opportunities worth taking. So, yeah, Brock Anderson's gone from AEW. We'll see what happens next. As always, I'll keep you guys updated. And thank you guys for watching.